Redevelopment Commission meeting of April 22nd to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lynn, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Locke?
Here.
Mr. Zilli?
Here.
Mr. Echtel?
Here.
Mr. Monk?
Here.
Mayor Lynch?
Here.
Dr. Finley?
Here.
We have the approval of the minutes from the March 25th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Colin, seconded by Ralph. Are there any discussions, changes? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the minutes from the special meeting of April 15th.
Approve. Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Greg, seconded by Colin. Is there any discussion? Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have the payment of the April claims.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Greg, seconded by, was that you, Alan?
Yes, ma'am.
Alan? Are there any discussions, any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have staff reports.
Good afternoon, Mayor Lynch, Commissioners. I wanted to bring you up bring you up to speed on a few things that we continue to work on behalf of the Commission. The staff and a group of folks are continuing to meet with the architect on the City Hall remodel project. We just had our last meeting yesterday. Schedule, we seem to be continuing to stay on schedule. We plan on advertising in May. I think the second advertising is later in the month. And we intend to open bids, I believe, in June. We've Road. Sandy joined the folks at Milestone in a project kickoff meeting Friday. They are intending to start work tomorrow by staking right of way. They'll be on site next week beginning work. I believe that it starts next week with some tree removal, and the subcontractor, Gordy Droff, will be following up soon thereafter to start removing topsoil and subbase in advance of the roadway materials and pipe and all that kind of thing. So that is progressing. We should start seeing some activity on Rollins Road as soon as tomorrow. We thank you last week for approving the Armor Stone at Portage Lakefront. That shoreline restoration project is going to be, I think, very important to preserving a real significant investment in something I think that proves very important in Northwest Indiana, Portage Lakefront Riverwalk and Pavilion. We continue to coordinate with the National Park Service on the project in terms of delivery of materials, project management, design. We are set to have a project kickoff meeting next week with Superintendent Lovitz and his team, as well as our team. As you know, or I believe you know, the city forces are going to be assisting on that construction project. So we are eagerly looking forward to working with the National Park Service on that really important project. So we will keep you posted as to our progress. It's the intention that the work is going to happen here in the next 5 or 6 weeks. I do know it's a stated goal of the Park Service to have the project completed by Memorial Day. We continue to work with DLZ, the designers on the Founders Square Plaza project. We are on schedule, and they are moving ahead on construction documents. So we are very similar to the City Hall remodel project, still looking for a construction start in July, likely the second week of July. I believe that week starts with July 12th. With that, I'll pause and ask if you have any other questions about any of the other things that we might be working on, as I may have forgotten.
Where do we stand on the demolition of some of the building? I saw Hampson Road was taken down.
Yes, good question. So Commissioner Lack, we've finalized the demolition of the property on LaPorte, the demolition of the project on Hampson Road. We are continuing to work with Americo on the Schiller Road property. And I've asked for a proposal for professional services for environmental review of the Gilbert gas station on Central Avenue. And those are the next 2 demolition projects that I have on my radar right now.
And then when they're doing the Armor Stone over at Lakeshore, are they going to be closing the facility down at all?
That question came up at the previous meeting. It was one that I believe Paul and his team were taking back to to their offices to discuss further, and I know it's an agenda item coming up. When the previous contractor delivered the first load of Armor Stone, they did close the park.
Okay.
The park notified the public, and the park was closed for that day. So as we go forward with the additional delivery of Armor Stone, likely the park will be closed, and I think that there needs to be a serious consideration about closing the park while the construction work is taking place. It's going to be a very interesting thing to watch. But with that said, the construction activity is in a pretty close proximity to the fishing pier, to the pavilion building, and
So those sort of safety measures and decisions are going to be discussed and made here at that construction meeting. Ultimately, you know, we can offer our guidance, but the decision to close or open will be that of the National Park Services. It is their property.
Is there, when it's closed, is there, if and when it's closed, is there any opportunity to do any kind of maintenance there, like crack sealing the parking lot?
You know, that would be a good question. We hadn't, at this point, I hadn't thought about that. That's a good point. It's something to think about. You know, if we could get out there and look at some other opportunities to crack seal the road or crack seal the parking lot.
Okay.
Or stripe it for that matter.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So also, AJ, they're going to attempt to take that big round piece of concrete out and all the other concrete debris that's on the west side?
Yes, so as you know, between the handicap ramp that previously went down to the beach or the overlook that's in the water right now, the conversation and part of the exploration is, can we get the equipment out to clear those obstructions out of the water? And if we could borrow them back to shoreline, protection, that would be good. Those things are being investigated. You know, what's the proper technique to get out there and bridge to go get that material and come back? As the Park Services, the permitter, they've been working with the Army Corps and other agencies on permitting. They're taking the lead in talking with everybody about what can and can't happen as part of the project. They do have the permit to do the work with relationship to the armor stone, but again, that's above high water. So the stuff that's out in the water, they're asking for some additional clarification from the Corps as to whether or not they can do that. But it is being investigated, and it is one of the goals of the project to get that stuff out there.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that somebody's going to get hurt on it now that it's exposed.
Yeah, because it's a nice place to climb up on and jump off of. In every effort, if the permits and everything can we can get all that in order, would be to take out as much of those sort of obstructions in the water as possible.
Great. Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Does any of your staff have anything they want to bring up? Okay. They have their mouth on, they're not talking, okay. We have old business, none. We have new business, open fence and repair and table replacement quotes at Founders Square.
Yes, Mayor Lynch, commissioners, we solicited quotes for fence repair at the northeast corner of Founders Square and a picnic table replacement. It appears that we've received one quote for that work that was solicited. This quote is from Security Door Inc., 2733 Samuelson Road, Portage, Indiana, 46368. I'm trying, Lynn. Again, this quote is from Security Door, 2733 Samuelson Road, Portage, Indiana. The quote for replacement of the fence, the picnic table, so materials and labor, the subtotal and quote is for $7,127. So to repeat that, it's $7,127. As this is our only quote, we would ask that you allow staff the opportunity to review the quote. We'd ask to take it under advisement, allowing staff and legal counsel the opportunity to review the quote to make sure everything's in order.
Make a motion to take the bid under advisement.
Second.
We have a motion by Greg, seconded by Colin, to take the quote under advisement. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Approve SEH Marquette Trail Amendment 1.
Yes, so this is a contract amendment to the contract that was entered last month. This is adding another job classification to the contract. The consulting firm has brought in a construction administrator to the job, so it adds that pay class to the job. Having that resident on-site engineer is expected to be a little lower than the previous management plan or approach that was considered by SEH. So with that, again, staff would recommend approval of amendment number 1 and would ask that approval be conditioned on Attorney Witten's review.
I'll make a motion to approve contingent upon legal review.
Second.
We have a motion by Collins, seconded by Ralph. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the final accounting report of the LMW Portage Lakefront.
Yes. Madam Mayor, Commissioners, this is a project that you as a commission, we as the city of Portage have been working on a long time, and we are near the end, at least as it relates to the closeout of the project. A number of years ago, working with then project manager with the Corps, we, the city of Portage, the department, had suggested to the Corps a consideration of the concrete demo of Warehouse 57 be credited as a part of the project. That request at that time was thought of as favorable and worth further investigation. Many years have passed, and as we get close to the project closeout, the project engineer working on behalf of the Corps reached out, and we were talking about the closeout documents and talking about that conversation that Kirsten and I had a number of years ago. So over the course of the last several months, myself, Lynn, the department had been working with the Army Corps of Engineers on closeout as it specifically relates to the credits for the work that the city of Portage did as part of that project. So what you have before you, and I believe is included in your packet, is an email from Charles Shea, project manager with the Corps, sent to me acknowledging the city's request of $230,984 of in-kind credit for the project. They've reviewed that, and as it stated in this email, the bottom line is that the Army Corps will be returning $196,262.30 to the city of Portage. So it's a credit to the work we've done. So this will be returned to the city of Portage as a check for that work. The project accounting is then provided on the second sheet that explains how that number was derived based on the project total cost, the committed share by the federal government, the committed share to the city of Portage. And what this is reflecting is that we went beyond what we needed to do, and as a result of that, we're getting the credit of $196,262.30. I had presented this to Mayor Lynch, to Attorney Witten, and felt, knowing that you were so intimately involved in this project throughout, this, you would like to know that we're toward the end here. This is the closeout, and wanted to bring that to your attention and ask for your support of the closeout and acknowledgement that we will be receiving credit and a return of $196,262.30 to the city.
Is that coming to the RDC or the city?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize. So the sponsor, the local sponsor for the work that took place up there was the City of Portage's Redevelopment Commission.
Got it.
So, Madam Chairman, I would suggest that the board couch this in terms of a motion to approve and accept the accounting. I can think of roughly 196,000 reasons why that would be a great idea. And I think that would be all that's needed.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounting.
Second.
With a motion by Colin, seconded by Ralph to approve the accounting and the return of funds from the Army Corps of Engineers. Is there any further discussion or questions? Will that be put in 406 or 7?
I believe that I will defer to Lynn on
Where it
that.
was paid from, so I'll have to look
Yeah.
and
Okay.
see where probably 407.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That is good news. Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome.
And you also have an add-on professional services agreement with Cardinal.
I do. I apologize for this not making its way to the agenda. This is the professional services agreement with Cardinal. You will recall at the last meeting, or the last regular meeting, you approved Cardinal providing professional services related to reporting for the project that we just talked about. So now it's the forever maintenance and responsibility for ourselves as the city of Portage to preserve that investment that was made as part of the ecological restoration project. Before you, I believe maybe, I know Attorney Whitten has a copy, is a professional services agreement with Cardinal with an estimated budget of $34,990. I would like to point out that it is still identified as an estimated budget because as a professional service, the first thing they're doing is they're doing their scientific work and scientific exploration to develop a report based on the maintenance plan that was given to us by the Army Corps. With their report, their understanding of what's taking place, then there will be a series of recommendations in the report as to what is needed to keep to protect the investment that's been previously made. So that is why it remains an estimate. If it were more, I'm sorry, Lynn, $34,990. If it were more, we would be back before you as a commission to let you know. And again, we will advise the contractor that if that is the case, hey, give us a heads up before you start spending the money. We've looked at this. We believe that everything's in order. However, staff would ask Attorney Whitten and ask the commission to move forward with this with Attorney Whitten's review so that we can start the work. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract upon legal review.
Second.
We have a motion by Greg, seconded by Colin. Are there any further questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. AJ, would you just inform the commission of the change of the name in Walsh and Kelly, because you were mentioning a new name, and I'm not sure everybody in the commission knows that it's the same company, they just have a new name.
Yeah, so historically, when we've been doing work here in the city of Portage, we typically, as two roadway contractors, it's been Reeve, Riley, or Walsh and Kelly. Walsh and Kelly, through some mergers and acquisitions, have changed their name to Milestone. So for a while, I'll try to remember the formerly known as, but Walsh and Kelly does have a new name. It's Milestone. It's the same folks, same working out of Griffith, Indiana, but they do have a new name. Thank you for bringing it. And Madam Chairman, if I could, one of the other things I would like to bring everybody up to speed on is the work that is taking place with the Marquette Trail. So if you have been out at Ameriplex, you have witnessed a lot of work taking place. We are a couple utility conflicts away from really going at it hard and getting some things finished up. We believe that we've resolved most of them. One of them, the only way we're ever going to discover the utility conflict was by the work starting. The other two, we believe we have a good solution with that utility provider. So it's all been cut. Most of the stone has been placed. It's a pretty aggressive schedule that Milestone, formerly known as Walsh and Kelly, has in place. And Sandy, I believe that if all goes according to plan, that paving is likely May.
Yes.
So good stuff. So we'll keep you posted on that project. And then I guess the only other thing I would add related to the Marquette Trail is we are soon to receive a contract for the Next Level Trails grant from the state of Indiana. So we'll be talking about that here in the next couple weeks. I expect to have that contract from the state soon. We had a conference call this morning. They needed a couple of things cleared up by the city of Portage, and we were able to do that immediately. So I'm expecting a contract soon.
Okay, good. Are there any questions or anything the commission has to ask of AJ? If not, is there any other business to come before the commission?
Madam Chairman, on the Catalyst property, so everything's been signed off with respect from the courts to set that for sale. The press release has been signed over the judge. So I would suspect the civil sheriff will be setting that for sale date in the next month or two, depending on their amount of sales on a particular day. So I'll keep the board.
Yes, Attorney Whitney, I mean, can we attend that?
Certainly, it's public.
Okay, so.
And I will be there because we're the lien bidder, as I discussed at the last time we brought it up at a meeting. So certainly we can be there. It'll be fabulously uneventful, would be my guess. Unless somebody shows up with bags full of money, then it would be very exciting to watch. But other than that, there'll be a lot of sales on that particular day, and it doesn't typically take very long.
Is that at the sheriff's department?
It is.
Okay. It's just something we're keeping an eye on. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming.
We'll be looking forward to whatever the outcome is. Is there any other business to come before the commission?
Yes, Madam Mayor, the other thing I would just want to point out is the notice that Lynn sent out a little while ago calling for an executive session and a special meeting for Monday of the redevelopment to consider some real estate matters. So I just wanted to mention that in the meeting.
Okay. Have we checked with Z to see if he's available to?
I have not at this point.
Okay.
We wouldn't need him for the executive session.
Yes,
No.
we would need him at 4:30.
For the regular. So,
But how long do you anticipate that meeting, that second meeting lasting?
so really honestly, Madam Mayor, the probably the nuts and bolts of discussion under the code for executive sessions, we can kind of deliberate and consider at the executive session. Really, the public meeting is to take action. So I would suspect that regular meeting will be, depending on, if there's any other questions that come up, but usually not very long. Because really you've kind of...
I guess my reason for asking, AJ, is it's a lot of work for Z to, I'll be so thankful to God when we get in our new council chambers and he can just plug in. But to drag 2 cartloads of equipment in here for a 10-minute meeting doesn't seem fair to Z. So I'm not trying to avoid a public, live stream meeting, but it's a lot of work for him to have to do that so I guess I'm looking for an opinion from the commission.
So probably that public meeting will be 10 minutes. You're probably right, Madam Mayor. I think most of the, most of the nuts and bolts of looking at things will be in the executive session.
So what are the wishes of the commission?
Well, we're going to have a meeting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's just a question of Z needs to be...
Or whether Z is going to bring all this equipment for 10 minutes and set up and run all these tapes and everything that he does.
I think if we can at least...
Can I interrupt? Z, do you do the BZA meetings?
No.
Never mind.
Nice try.
We have a BZA meeting at 6:30.
Yeah.
So.
I know.
If we could at least just audio record it and put that up, or audio stream it, I mean, we can make that work. We can actually do it. I don't know. It's necessary.
What do you mean by we?
Me.
by me.
Me. I meant me, but I said we. So.
I mean, this is one of the reasons, and I know people, might be upset and think we're being frivolous with the council chamber edition, but this is one of the reasons that it's very important that people have to leave their office and drive over to the park, or Z has to bring all of this equipment from the parking lot in, running all these tapes and lines, and, I mean, we appreciate you more than you know, Z, really we do, but to ask him to come here for 10 minutes, I just think it's a little bit much, so,
We'll make it work.
okay. So if there's no other business to come before the commission, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.